back to my channel. So today I have another, you guys, I talk with my hands so much, but anyways, today I have another Dollar Tree Farmhouse Decor DIY video for you guys. I promised you guys if I got my last video to 5,000 thumbs up, I would do one of these videos again. And I'm telling you guys, currently at the moment, these are my favorite videos to do. I wanted to do another one of those window panes, and I still have more ideas for different window panes. And I have different farmhouse themes that I want to do. If you look at the previous two and this one, even though I did a window pane in all three of them, every video had its own type of theme. The first one was more pottery barn type of farmhouse decor. The second one was galvanized metal. And with this one, I'm going more with a gray tone. I have two more farmhouse decor themes that I'm thinking of doing. So if you guys want to see those videos, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Let's see if we can get this video to 5,000 likes. And I'll promise to do another farmhouse decor Dollar Tree DIY video for you guys. Thank you to everybody who's been giving these videos a thumbs up. You the best. Like, you guys are the reason why this channel is growing, because if I didn't have you guys, I'd be talking to nobody but my mom. My mom watches my videos all the time. Hey mom. Also, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel so you'll be notified sometimes when I upload. But to make sure you are notified, click the bell button. With that all being said, let's begin the video.
Let's start with this farmhouse lamp. From Dollar Tree, you want to pick up one of their wire baskets and make sure you remove the handle. You don't really want it for this project. You'll also want to get 3 of these pillars. If you cannot find the pillars, you can always use candlesticks from Dollar Tree. You can even use like wine glasses. You just got to figure out something that works for you. You'll also want to get some flowers from Dollar Tree that you will remove from the stems. Now it's up to you if you want to paint the pillars, the basket, and the flowers. I decided I wanted to paint them a chalk gray color. Now you can use regular chalk paint for this or acrylic paint. I'm using a spray paint just because it's easy to do. It's very quick and it dries quickly. When I'm filming, I prefer to do quick and easy DIYs, so any way that I can make the process quicker, I do that, and spray painting is one way I can do a shortcut rather than painting it with regular chalk paint or acrylic paint. It takes a little longer that way. I'm using Rust-O-Leum's aged gray chalk paint. Now when I spray the flowers, I made sure I put them inside of a basket or even a bowl you can use, just something where the flowers, if they start to blow away, they won't go far. It could be very slightly windy outside and your flowers might blow away just because they're so lightweight that the air actually from the can can even blow them away. So it's nice to put them inside of something so that you don't have to go chasing them because the wind blew your flowers away. Now the flowers that I painted were previously painted gold, and there's a little bit of gold peeking through the gray, and I actually liked it, and I decided that I didn't want to completely cover these flowers with the gray paint because the gold peeking through looked very pretty. Once you've got everything painted, it's time to move on to the next steps. What I'm doing is I'm taking a hot glue gun and I'm gluing flowers to the bottom portion of my lamp shade, which is basically the wire basket. So the top of the wire basket, which is now the bottom of my lamp shade. I mix a few leaves here and there, not too many, it's mainly flowers. Next, I attach the 3 pillars together. You want to use E6000 for this or a heavy duty super glue. I'm just using a hot glue gun because it dries quickly. A hot glue gun, I mean, it's not terrible to use for this, but if you want like long lasting wear and you want to be able to pick this up however you like, it's probably best to use a heavy duty glue rather than a hot glue gun. Now moving on to what's going to bring this thing light. From Dollar Tree, I picked up this little vase. It's like a cracked looking vase, and I like the shape of it because it almost looks like a light bulb. Not totally, but it still has that rounded shape to it. And then for the light source, I'm using some fairy lights that I got from Dollar Tree. All you have to do is place the little vase on top of the pillar, or you can glue it down if you'd like. You want to make sure that you're able to put your hand inside of the vase so you could turn the lights on and off. So if you glue this thing upside down and you can't put your hand in the vase, well, good luck ever turning that lamp off. I decided to add some nautical rope to the bottom of the lamp. I just like the way that this looks, so I just added 2 rows of that nautical rope. I wanted there to be something that ties all 3 of these decor pieces together, and I thought the best thing to tie them together was the gray colors and the nautical rope slash jute twine that I'm using. And that's it for this farmhouse lamp. Now moving on to this window pane. From Dollar Tree, you want to pick up 6 frames. Now I'm using the framed mirrors just because I have a bunch of those. You can get frames that just have the clear glass over it, and you can end up putting the glass eventually back inside, but I'm just using what I have. Now I go ahead and I spray these frames with that aged gray Rust-O-Leum spray paint. Again, you can paint these with an acrylic paint, you can paint these with the regular chalk paint. It's something that's up to you. For the top of the window pane, I'm using this garden fence that I painted gray. Okay, let's make the wreath for this thing. I'm using this styrofoam wreath that I got at Dollar Tree as the base of the wreath, and then I'm covering it up with reindeer moss. I'm just using hot glue to attach the reindeer moss, and I make sure I cover the inside and the outside of the wreath, but not the back of it. You're not going to be able to see the back. Now I glue this wood decor piece that I got from Dollar Tree that says family on it. Now the entire thing isn't going to be able to attached to the wreath, so you want to make sure you put extra glue wherever that directly makes contact with the wreath, if that makes sense. So definitely on the bottom parts that touch the wreath, and once you get that, you want to put some glue behind like the F and the Y. Those are the parts that touch the wreath. The A, M, I, L, they don't touch the wreath at all. Now I start to glue on some flowers from Dollar Tree. I especially like the Queen Anne's lace, which looked kind of like baby's breath to me. So I went ahead and I glued a lot of that onto this wreath, and then I put some daffodils and then ones that look like little yellow weeds. I don't know what the name of them was. The tag fell off. But yeah, you could just choose whatever flower you like. I eventually ended up adding some little purple lavender ones that I got from Dollar Tree just to add a little pop of color. Now to attach the picture frames. You want to use a heavy duty glue unless you enjoy things falling apart on you. So I'm using Quick Cover, which is similar to E6000 or the super glue fix all that Dollar Tree carries. This I got at Walmart. I don't know if Walmart's the only place that carries it. So I just use it to attach my 6 picture frames together. Now I wanted to make this a bit more stable. The first time I did a window pane like this where I didn't put the glass back in or the mirrors in, I didn't do anything to the back of it, but I want to do it this time around because the wreath weighs more than the first time that I did this. So what I'm doing is I'm using foam board that I got at Dollar Tree and cutting little slices that can go behind the picture frame but not show from the front of it. So I cut 2 slices that will be going horizontally on the back of the window pane, and then 2 that will be going vertically. The way that the foam board helps stabilize this is by adding just an extra thickness to the back so that the picture frames don't kind of bend backwards and snap on you from the weight of the wreath. Now if you're hanging this up, that shouldn't be a problem. You wouldn't really have to use the foam board, but if you're not hanging it up like I did, you probably want to use the foam board, especially if you're putting the mirrors or the glass that comes with the frames back inside of there. Next, I attached the garden fence to the top of the window pane. Now to tie this in with the rest of the DIYs, I'm using my Nautical Rope to glue to the center of the window frame. So each window frame, the center of it where it meets just that hole where the glass would be, I attach the Nautical Rope. All you really need to do this is some glue and a scissor. Finally, it's time to attach the wreath. You can always put Nautical Rope around the wreath and then tie that to the top of the garden fence. I don't want any rope showing in that area, so what I decided to do is glue the wreath to the picture frame. So I lay the wreath down how I want it to be on that window pane, and then I go ahead and glue it down. And that's it for the window pane. Now moving on to the wooden box and the mason jars. From Dollar Tree, you can pick up some of their mason jars, and I also got some Kerr jars for Michael's. They're 2 for $3 right now. To paint them, I'm going to be using white chalk paint that I got at Walmart. I think it cost me $1.47 or $1.97. And when I paint them, I'm using a makeup sponge that I ripped in half, and then I just bounce that sponge onto the glass. And I prefer to bounce the sponge rather than using like a paintbrush because I don't really like the streaks that paintbrushes leave behind. I prefer to have it this way. I just like the texture better. If you want to use a paintbrush, you can do that. And when you're painting the glass, you do want parts of the glass to be peeking through. You kind of want it to look sloppy. I feel like this gives it more of the rustic feel rather than just painting this totally opaque. If you think you put too much paint, you can go ahead and use your fingernail to just kind of chip some of it off. Now I'm just wrapping around some jute twine that I got from Dollar Tree onto the top portion of the mason jar. I just wrap it around so I get a thickness that I like, and then just tie it. Okay, moving on to the wooden box. You're going to need foam board from Dollar Tree for this, and you want to cut down the box to whatever size you want it to be. Now I made it long enough that it could fit 3 mason jars and wide enough that it was pretty much just a little bit bigger than the width of the mason jars. I didn't want the box to be too wide or too long. My box is about 7.5 inches long and then about 3.5 inches wide. Now you do want to cut a bottom for the box, and that should be a little bit smaller than the two longer sides, so it can slide under the sides of the box. Now to give the box a wooden appearance, I'm using contact paper. Now Dollar Tree carries two different types of contact papers, and I've used one before to make a wooden box, and I'll link down that tutorial. So this time around I decided to use a different contact paper from the Duck brand, and I got it at Menards, which is a hardware store here in Chicago. I really do like the appearance of this for the tutorial just because it has a little bit more gray tones in it. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut pieces of contact paper that is going to wrap around each piece of foam board. Treat the foam board like you're wrapping a gift. You're going to take that piece of foam board and you're going to flip it around on top of the contact paper so that you're making sure there's enough contact paper to cover both main sides of the foam board as well as the thinner sides all around the foam board. I don't know if that makes sense, but you can see what I'm doing. And it's always better to overcut than it is to undercut. So you do want to kind of overcut from what you initially measured to make sure that this is going to not be a waste of contact paper and it's not going to cover the entire thing like you want it to. Now when you're placing the foam board on top of the contact paper, you want to make sure you put it on the side of the foam board, and then you just kind of put it face down or face up. I don't know. There really is no face down or face up when it comes to this. Both sides are the same. Anyways, Bethany, keep on focus. You just wrap that around the contact paper. But when it comes to the sides of each piece of foam board, you're going to make a little slit with a scissor so that it can wrap around properly. Like pretty much like I said, you got to treat this like you're wrapping up a present. I wouldn't worry about wrapping the bottom piece just because you can't see it at all. And once you've got everything wrapped, you can go ahead and glue it all together. I'm just using a hot glue gun to glue this. Now go ahead and fill up your box with the mason jars and then put whatever you want inside of the mason jars. And that's it for this little box. You can make multiple boxes with just one piece of foam board. Yeah, and there's just so many different options too at Dollar Tree with the contact paper. So that's it for this farmhouse DIY decor video. If you guys enjoyed this video, again, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If we can get it to 5,000 likes, I will do another farmhouse decor video for you guys pretty soon. Anyways, I will see you guys next time. Okay, take care. Bye.